Servus and hello, my name is Fireball313 and this is a new episode of Beyond the Game. Like usual, I want to show some fine retail games where the publisher put some love into the product. And today I start with the King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match. This is a remake of a Neo Geo title what came out in October of 2002. Yes, and I think this was one of the last King of Fighter titles what was released on the Neo Geo hardware. Yeah, this remake is an enhancement in so many ways. But first, let's look at some information. This version came out in early 2021, I think in April 2021. Yes, of course there's a digital download release also if you prefer that, but I never had the original King of Fighters 2002 version, so for me it was important to have a retail version. Yeah, and I'm quite happy with this version because I know the original title. So when you buy this one brand new sealed, it costs something like 40 euro. If you want to have it in used condition, it's 35 euro. So it's not so expensive. Compared to the original game, you have a lot of enhancements. So you have new characters, new stages, new music, new artworks, and a new roster rebalancing. By the way, there is also multiplayer capability, so you can play if you have a PlayStation Network Plus. Then you can play this online with your friends. Yeah, and for a couple of years already, I'm a big fan of the King of Fighters series. Besides Street Fighter and Dead or Alive, this is one of the series, fighting series what I really like. Yes, and till this point, I must really admit, from the original Neo Geo titles, is this really the best, at least if you ask my opinion. Yeah. What they improve actually is not just the graphic, soundtrack, and like I said, the rebalancing. They have also an online multiplayer. And what is really cool, they add a lot of new characters. At the end, you get 66 playable fighters. This is the biggest cast of the King of Fighters series, yes. And of course, they have this typical gameplay that you have a team of fighters and you fight other teams. You know, I really like that. Yeah, this is just a standard version. This is really important to say. This is not a special edition and just a standard version. And what I like about the standard version is the graphical design. First, the packaging. I like the artwork, you know, with the logo and the color scheme. It looks really nice. I love that. And when you open it, they continue with this style, you know, and if you just buy stuff digitally, you really miss this experience, you know, because it looks so awesome. And let me show you. 1 second, my computer is complaining. Okay, so, and now look at that, you know. I like the print of the Blu-ray. Looks really cool. Awesome. Wait, let me take this out and show this just. Check this out. Awesome, right? So cool, yes. And then, unfortunately, there is no menu. There should be actually a menu because it's a fighting game, you know. You always need a menu for a fighting game. This is just an information folder, you know. You have just 2 pages with nothing. But it's not completely white. I mean, yes, the back and the inside is white, but the front is the same artwork like with the cover, and this is so cool. I like that. And now you have an alternative cover also. And here all these 66 characters, and this looks so great. Don't you think, guys? And let me take this out. And I hope I can show you my favorites. Of course, Terry Bogard is one of my favorites. And where is shit? So many characters actually. It's hard to find the other ones. At least I have some few lovable characters, but Terry Bogard is for me what is Ryu or Ken for Street Fighter, if you ask me. Yes, Awesome alternative cover, and it adds to the experience, if you ask me. 1 second. Let me put this back, and then I show you again. Looks so cool. And you place the Blu-ray back in it. Looks nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, it's a shame they don't include any kind of menu. It would be nice if you had some kind of booklet, with all the move of all the 66 characters. This would be so crazy, because I think if you would have a menu just with 12 characters with all the input informations what you need for the special moves, this is already a big menu. But with 66 characters, whoa, yeah, this is really something. Yeah, like I said, this is at least from my point of view, one of the best King of Fighters title from the original mainline when it came back out on the Neo Geo. Yes, and that's actually already it with this version. If you love King of Fighters, you can do nothing wrong. And of course, yeah, you can always buy this digitally in the PlayStation Store or through Steam, and then you get it a little bit cheaper, like when you get it sealed. But I believe in the future this will have a certain value, more or less, because I imported this more or less, so it's not that you find this version in every video game store or something, yeah. The next game is actually a compilation by Capcom, what I want to show. But before we look at the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, I want to look at the predecessor, what came out in June 2024. Yes, this came out on the European market also, and in Japan. And this is more or less a fighting compilation, like it already says. And you get 10 titles, mainly from the Darkstalker series, so Night Warriors, Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior, Red Earth, what is a very interesting title, Hyper Street Fighter 2, the Anniversary Collection, Super Gem Fighter or Pocket Fighters, Cyberbots, and Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Yeah, what is really, really nice, they enhanced the game, so this is important, ports of the arcade versions of all these titles, and they enhanced it for the PlayStation 4. Yes, all these titles are playable online. That is really, really cool. Yes, and they improved, of course, the graphics, and they have enhanced features like replay functions, save functions. You have an artwork gallery and stuff like that. Yeah, so you get a lot of stuff for your money. And for the first Capcom Fighting Collection, you get even some small goodies. It's not so much like with Capcom Fighting Collection 2, what I want to show next, but I thought this is interesting for you guys to see what was in the first part included. Yeah, so first, I really like the packaging. Oh, no, wait, before we do that, the price. When you wanted to have it in a brand new condition, you pay something like 60 euro. If you want to have it used, it's 45 euro. Yes, so the packaging looks like that. I love the artwork. So awesome. Yes, and the back looks like this. You get even some screenshots. You don't believe that, huh? And this is really immense. I must admit, you get 10 titles, and many of them I never played. For example, Vampire Savior 2, I never played. Red Earth, I never heard before that. So it was interesting to play this game, or Cyberbots also. Yeah, really, really cool. So when you open it, unfortunately, you don't have an alternative cover at all. This is the first thing what is a complaint. And soon you guys will understand why I say this. So this is just a white background, It would be so cool if they just have an alternative background in this kind of style, That would be so awesome when you open it and you see then the design and it would how to say, it would enhance the experience when you buy a retail game, you know. So yeah, of course you get everything on the standard Blu-ray. There's nothing extraordinary in this case. And here are the goodies, and unfortunately digital goodies. You get a download code for the game The Three Wonders for the Capcom Arcadium Stadium 2, and you get some bonus music and artwork what you can download, in this case in the PlayStation Store. Yeah, that is nice, but I would like to have more physical stuff, if you know what I mean. And now we can make a nice comparison, because now we look at Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and I just keep this on the side, and we look at number 2. And wait, I need my documentation. Yeah, this is Capcom Fighting Collection 2. This got released in May 2025. It's not so long ago. Yes, it came out, of course, in Japan and in Europe. I don't know if it even came out in the States. Because I couldn't wait to get the compilation. I imported it through Japan, and so I got it a little bit earlier. And what you guys see now is the Japanese version of the collection 2. Yeah, and what do you get? Actually, you get 10 titles also. Oh wait, 9 titles. 10? At least you get Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000 Pro, Capcom vs. SNK 2, you get Capcom Fighting Evolution, you get Street Fighter Alpha Upper, you get Power Stone, Power Stone 2, Project Justice, and Plasma Sword, Nightmare of Bilstein. With this compilation I was really looking for, because many of these titles I never played. For example, Power Stone, I never had a Dreamcast. Power Stone I never played, in the second part also. And Project Justice, I'm a huge fan of the predecessor, Rival School, so I was really looking forward to play this one. And this is the successor of the first Star Gladiator, but came out on the PlayStation. I never played this before. So yeah, and what do you get actually beside these games? You get a lot of enhancements, you know, a lot of concert arts, huge soundtrack with over 400 tracks, and some bonus soundtracks. Soon we will see that. Yes, what is awesome also, you can play this game, the compilation, on a PlayStation Pro with 4K support. I didn't know that actually, you know, so that is really nice. Yeah. Yeah, let's look at the content. And the content, and this is so crazy. I mean, don't forget, this is the first Capcom Fighting Collection, huh? Just some digital stuff, you know, nothing else, you know, no alternative background, no nothing. So, and now I open this, and you guys see already there is more stuff what is inside. Yes, and first we have an alternative cover, and this is actually the Japanese version. This is the European version, you know, with just European text, of just Western text, and you can turn it around. Yeah, let me get in. And then you have the Japanese version of that. This is a nice touch. I like that. Yes. Let me put this back, you know. Then, 1 second. Then, of course, you get the compilation on a Blu-ray. This is awesome. Of course, you can play this on the PlayStation 5 also with 4K support. There's no problem. I tried this out. And then you get some, wait, this is just some information. Then you get some download for some soundtracks. Here you get a download code, and you can download it through the PlayStation Store. But what is really extraordinary is this one here. This is a mini comic, you know. And the mini comic comes with 2 stories, and it has a lot of pages, you know. It's really thick, you know. And I love this kind of detail, you know. So here you can see who created this this comic, and we just look a little bit at it, you know. And here's just a fighting situation, you know, and yeah. And there's no explanation about the storyline. This is just a 3x3 fighting situation in the ring, you know, and then you see some special moves. They talk a little bit to each other, you know, some dirty talk, okay. They just talk to each other. They say some stuff, you know. So it's not something extraordinary. There is no thing what you need to know. I mean, there is no story background, you know. And I like this. I really, really like that. You know, looks so awesome. And this is quite funny. I mean, I imported it through Japan, and this is in English. You know, this is interesting. It's not in Japanese. I was. Oh, wait, 1 second. I was surprised actually. This looks so cool. You know. Yes. So actually the story ends here, and then we have another story with a different art style, you know, that looks so cool, so funny. Damson looks funny also. And this is Zangief, you know, and he has a hot dog. And this is Dan, of course. And this is Sagat. Check out Sagat, how he looks, huh? Really cute. And this is Terry Bogard. Yeah. Nice, huh? Of course, this art style here is more realistic. This one is more cartoonish, childish, you know. I must admit, I like this more than the realistic style, you know. So, yeah, cool. Really, really cool. I love that, you know. So, and yeah, and now let's make a comparison next to each other, you know. With the first Capcom Fighting Evolution, you get just a digital game and bonus music and artworks. Everything is digital. And here you get a comic and a soundtrack also, you know. I always like physical stuff, so yeah. Besides that, there are awesome ports, both of them, both of the compilations, really, really awesome. And if you are interested in the history of Capcom, I really recommend both of these, you know. This one's, of course, a little bit Darkstalker heavy, you know. It would be nice if they would release another one with some other interesting titles from the Capcom library, you know. Yeah. But both these compilations get a thumbs up from my side. Game number 3 was a huge surprise for me when I saw it in the store, because I didn't know that this one existed. And that is Formula Retro Racing World Tour. This is for the Nintendo Switch. You have this game also on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. Yes, I saw this game in a video game store, and I saw the package. And I saw this low, how you call this actually? This, yeah, simplistic 90s style arcade racing graphics. Yes, you know, it really reminded me of the first generation of 3D racers, you know, like Daytona USA or Virtual Racing. And I'm a sucker for this kind of presentation. And before I bought it, of course, I checked on my phone the reviews, and it's actually not a bad racing game. This is a fun racer, yes, and the price was quite cheap. So I thought you can do nothing wrong. And this is the special edition, yes. And with the special edition, you get some content. But before we look at that, some basic information. The price of this one sealed is 30 euro. If you want to have it on the used market, you get it already for 20. So it's not really so expensive, yeah. All right, this is low polygon graphics. Yes, now I know it. I forgot it. This game actually has, because it goes really in this kind of fundraiser, you have 4-player split screen of 18 tracks. You have 2 different kind of cars. You have the Formula 1 car and this stock car, yes. And every car has a different handling. In my case, The stock car is very, very slippery, and this was not really my thing. It plays a little bit like the cars. I mean, the behavior is a little bit like Ridge Racer, but way slippery. I really prefer more the Formula One, really, that has a very, very good steering mechanism, you know. So when you really just press to the right, the car immediately replies on that, you know, not like this, you know. With the stock car, you really feel that you're driving on ice. Yeah. What do you actually get is 18 tracks, you know, 4 classic game modes, and there is online leaderboards. And with the special edition, you get 6 unique tracks, reverse track variations, and 2 stickers. Yeah. Yeah, let's look at the content. And I like the presentation also because it's not just a white background. It has an awesome image, and this is a wider picture of the cover variation. And this is awesome, nice, looks cool. You know, you open it and then it's like, whoa, you know. So this is awesome. I love it, you know, because the publisher could always go with a white background, but they choose to have a better experience, you know. And then, of course, you have here the cartridge. By the way, the publisher is Numskull Games, you know, this is an indie publisher. And with, let me see, yes, with the special edition, we have 2 stickers, like I said. And now let's look at the stickers. And first we have this Formula Retro Racing World Tour sticker. I don't want to use it. It has a glossy feel. That is awesome, nice. And the second sticker are these 3 cars. And more or less it's the same image like this one. Yeah. This is a nice touch, you know. Yeah, but of course I will never use them, you know, I will just keep them there, you know. It's a shame that they, of course, didn't include a menu or something, but hey, at the end, this is an indie game for just 30 euro, and then you get already 2 stickers, you know, and a nice alternative cover or just a background cover, you know. This is awesome, cool, you know. I didn't knew actually that there was a version for the PlayStation 5 also, because the resolution on the Switch is, if you play it on the television, is 1080p. That is nice. But if you play it on the PlayStation 5, then you have it in 4K with 60 frames per second. So I think then the low polygon graphic looks even nicer. Yeah, so I wait just for a discount. If I get, let's say, the PlayStation 5 version for 10 euro, then I will just buy that. If you have, let's say, if you love Retro Racer, you know, even with the graphical style, then this game is really recommended. But I must really admit, it takes something like around 90 minutes to finish the game, you know, to see all the 18 tracks with all the variations, you know. What actually is a big minus in this case is the soundtrack, because you just have a small variations of choosable songs, and after half an hour they repeat very, very often, so it gets really on your nerves. At least it was with me, you know. And I couldn't find any function, you know, to shut down the soundtrack, you know. So yeah, really, really nice. It reminded me a lot of Virtual Racing, you know, or Daytona USA. And if you love this kind of game, then this one is for you. The last game and the highlight what I would like to show you guys, and it really excites me to talk about it because it's about Gris. I hope I pronounce it correctly. Gris, right? Gris, not Chris, Gris. Yes, this is an indie game what came out in, let me think, December 2018 on the Nintendo Switch. Later in December 2022, there was a release for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series, and I even believe you get it on the PC. Yeah, this is a phenomenal game. This is, how to say, you guys know I love really awesome art design, you know, a game what has really a nice graphical presentation, you know. It doesn't mean that you need a lot of polygons or something, but I really love creative art and design, you know. And if you combine this in a video game, I'm always happy with experience like that. Journey is a really good example, you know, of a game that looks so stunning. And even you don't need a storyline or something. I mean, none of these characters talk at all at Journey, but it tells a story through the environment, through the art design and the music and all that stuff. And Gris is going exactly the same way, just the presentation is completely different, you know. And this is an experience what I recommend everybody, really everybody. If you're a hardcore gamer, really try out this game. If you're a casual gamer, try out this game, you know, because it is an experience of a lifetime, you know. The only thing what you really need is a good pair of headphones, you know, an awesome television, you know, with at least, if you want to have the best experience, I can even imagine the best experience you have on the PlayStation 5 in 4K support with 60 frames. But at least if you play it already on the Switch, you know, with 1080p, it looks really stunning. Really stunning. Yeah, so the storyline is quite simple. You are Chris and you love to sing. But then you lose your voice and then you start a journey. And this journey is just in a 2D world with a lot of art and emotions, and soon you guys will see what I talk about. This, at least, yeah, this is your journey then with Gris to get her voice back, you know. And this is just a platformer, a really simple 2D platformer, you know. You move from left to the right, you jump, you press some switches. There are some slight puzzles, but they are not really difficult in any kind of way. So this game is really recommended even for children, you know. And it says already, because you have this USK sticker, so children with an age of 6 can already play this game. And I even believe they will have a lot of fun with this game, you know, because the graphics, the art design tells already a lot, you know, and the soundtrack really adds to the whole experience, you know, and then you get really captured by this mysterious world and the reason why Chris lost her voice, you know. And if you are a gamer with not so much time, you don't want to spend 3, 5, 6 hours on a game, Gris is exactly your kind of thing, because under 2 minutes you finish the storyline. Of course, there are still some collectibles and you need some more time to find them. But if you want to just to finish the story under 2 hours, and then you have one of the best experience what you can have for a couple of years, if you ask me at least. Yeah, so you can have this game digitally or you buy it in a store. And what is so awesome, this is just the standard version. This standard version cost 30 euro on the store. It's not really so much. And you get some goodies with it, and I want to show this soon. But first, this is important. If you want to buy it brand new, it's just 30 euro. On the used market, it's the same. There is one thing, this is the version of Devolver. There is another version from Limited Run. This one is more expensive. It's around 100 euro. It's actually the same content like I saw on the internet, but because the Limited Run version was before this one, at least what I know. Yeah, so yeah, and beside that, besides the normal version, there is a Devolver Deluxe Edition. And this is a box with a CD with the soundtrack and some other stuff also. Wait, my computer is complaining again. Stupid computer, sorry. Yeah, so I didn't knew when I bought this game there was a special edition, because I was already happy with this one. And I wait for a discount, and then I would have loved to have it for the PlayStation 5. But when I see the special edition in the discount, of course, I will buy it, and then I will show it here in the show. Yes, And now let's look at the standard version of Gris, you know, and I love already the artwork. That is Gris, by the way. She looks like that. And she's very sad because she lost her voice, you know. And I don't want to spoil why it is like that, because this is an experience what you need to play for yourself, you know. So, and I don't want to spoil in this kind of direction. The back looks like this, and here you can already see the extraordinary art design, you know. And this looks so cool. Yes, really. When you open it, oh shit, now the experience is ruined. Then it looks like this. And in the beginning, I thought this is a manual, but no, actually this is an art book. This is an art book. So cool, so awesome. So I was really surprised. I didn't expect anything, you know. But when I opened it, I saw it, I thought really, oh, this is a manual. Cool, because, you know, it's here. If you have manuals with Switch games, it's always here. So yeah, but this is an art book, you know. And for 30 euro, you get an art book for free. Okay, it's part of the price, I believe. And let me take the game out. Check this out. This is so cool, so awesome. And this is the art design what you can expect inside the game, you know, very minimalistic. And I don't have even any words to explain what kind of art design this is, you know. Yes, but I can show you some examples with the art book. And it comes just in the small size, and this is okay, this is cool, awesome. I don't have any kind of complaints, and you get a lot of pages. And let's look at the art book. This, of course, the image of Gris, and the level looks like this, you know. And I love that, you know, with this watercolor. This looks so cool. And everything is vibrant. Sometimes you move just in a landscape what is very minimalistic. Like here, look, and here's your protagonist. And sometimes, you know, and this is quite interesting, the game zooms in on your character, and when they want to show you the landscape, then it moves, the camera moves away from you, you know, and then you see the whole impression, you know, of the scenery. And sometimes it moves in again, you know. If you move inside a building, sometimes the camera moves in on more closer to your character, or even if you want to see a little bit more, then it does automatically by itself, you know. So yeah, so awesome. I'm sorry that I'm so excited, but I love the art book, and I really adore this kind of graphical design, you know. I wish I could draw and yeah, paint like this, you know. Really. And check this out. Looks so cool. I remember this was this moving rock, yes. And this is what I can tell you guys, you know, I mean, this is not a big secret, because you move through different landscapes, and every landscape has a different color pattern, you know. And so, for example, later you are in the desert, and everything is in a reddish color, like you see here. You see what I mean? For example, check out this tree, so awesome. And this pyramid really reminds me of Journey, you know. And this is part of this desert level. This is so cool. I love it, really love it. And then there's a landscape, you know, where you need to go. And this is a forest, and then everything is a little bit more in the green color scheme. Yes, and later you are in temple with water, and then it's more in the blue area, if you understand what I mean. This is so awesome. And this, I can tell you guys, this is one of the enemies. It's almost impossible to die in the game, you know, but this is one of the enemies what you encounter. Yeah, check this out. This is, for example, like I said, you know, this underwater levels. So cool. And unfortunately, you don't see this here in this art book. If you see the scenery with the, it is at night, and then you have this kind of mushrooms, mushroom trees, let's call it like that, and all this light, these enhancements, you know, this vibrant colors. Oh, this is so gorgeous, really, really gorgeous. And these are images from the sequences when you, for example, you must enter. No, you must try to get on top of this tower, and when you finally reach that, and then you collect some dots, let's say it like that, and then you at the top, then you have this this sequence. And here's the same, for example, you need to help this rose to bloom again. And this is the sequence when you fulfill this task, you know. Looks so cool. This stage was quite a labyrinth for me, you know. Normally it's really hard to get lost, but here sometimes, and you can see this in my long play, that I'm really struggling to find the right way, you know. Yeah, and that's it. And this is Gris. Yeah, what can I say? This is an awesome experience, really an awesome experience. And the soundtrack is really state of the art, and it fits the mood. And this is one of the reasons why I want to have then the deluxe edition, because it comes included with a CD soundtrack, not a digital soundtrack. Yeah, and I love that, you know, because then I have the soundtrack in physical form and I can play it every time I want, you know. Yeah, so this game is really recommended for everybody, and because it's so cheap, I really dare you guys, buy it. If you find it cheaper, even better, try it out, okay? And you will love it. You will fall in love with this game. It has a relaxing atmosphere. It's hard to describe. You must experience this for yourself. Yeah. Gris, I love you. Thumbs up for the developer, really. Yes. And that's the end of this video. If you guys like my content, give me a thumbs up or subscribe. See you next time, guys. And don't forget to support your local video game store. Servus.